days, almost everyone plays poker. While most casinos and card clubs want to protect their patrons, they don't risk any of their own bankrolls as they do in other games. No matter who wins or loses, they profit from collecting the rake, or time. We believe the incentive to protect the game rests upon the players themselves, whether the game is at home, in a club, or in a casino. A poker cheat may use only one or a few of the methods in this program, but that's all it takes to steal the money. In fact, if you thought these shuffles were real, you may already have fallen victim to a shark.
What you've just seen was a series of moves called false shuffles. A false shuffle is the first move a cheat usually learns when he's being turned out. Turned out means breaking into the business. All a false shuffle is keeping track of one or a group of cards, and he knows where they're going to fall after the shuffle. For example, the first shuffle we've done was the overhand shuffle. You'll find this type of shuffle in private home games. And as it appears the cards are being mixed, the cheat is keeping track of a group of cards. Here they're represented by the 4 aces. This is called an in-jog shuffle. When the cheat takes the bottom half, and as he's going on top, his left thumb pulls back the top card, making it like a bookmark, and then he shuffles for real on top of that bookmark. On the next shuffle, the cheat pushes up, forming a break. And then he shuffles for real until he gets to that break. And then he lets the packet fall last, actually retaining. I'll do the same move this time, except we'll keep the cards face up. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further and we'll control a large group of cards with the same shuffle. And you can see none of these cards were disturbed. This shuffle can also be used to keep the bottom cards intact. For example, the 4 aces will be on the bottom of the deck. This is how the shuffle would look for real, using the same type of move. This was accomplished by the same move, the in-jog. The stock is on the bottom. The cheat shuffles for real. Then he pulls back one card, as he did before, and throws the whole packet on top. So before, the cards that the cheat wanted to control was underneath that in-jog. Now they're above it. So on the next shuffle, the cheat pulls down on that in-jog, throws that whole packet on top, and then shuffles off. Now let's see how that looks again. Shuffle for real, pull back one, and then that's the move. With the same overhand shuffle, the cheat can just keep control of one card only. For example, see the ace of spades? We'll put it on top. And here goes your ace of spades. And how's the cheat accomplishing that? Being it's only one card, when he starts to shuffle, he pulls it off onto the bottom and shuffles for real. Then on the next shuffle, he shuffles for real until he gets near the bottom of the deck, and then he runs single cards, putting that ace right back on top. Now let's watch all those shuffles put together and see how a sequence would look with just one card. Here's your ace of spades. Here's your in-jog shuffle. Then he runs it to the bottom, and he'll run it right back to the top, keeping control of just one card. The shuffles you've just seen was the overhand shuffle. Like I said, you'll find that in most amateur games. The next shuffle we're going to do is the in the hands riffle shuffle. And I'm going to show you how that also can be falsified. A normal in the hand riffle shuffle will look like this. That's what an in the hand riffle shuffle will look like. And you can see the cards should change with every shuffle. Now I'm going to take out a small group of cards also represented by the 4 aces. And you're going to see how simple that shuffle is to falsify. And all the cheat is doing is letting a group of cards fall last. Just like we did with the overhand shuffle, I'm going to turn over a large group of cards and show you how a large group could be kept under control, also with a lopsided in the hands riffle, disturbing nothing. Just as in the overhand shuffle, now you'll see how a group of cards could be kept under control on the bottom of the deck, also represented by the 4 aces. And how is that done? By letting them fall first. Changing nothing. Another move the cheat developed to make this shuffle more deceptive, because if you watch closely, you can actually see the cheat is keeping these cards on top. So to appear that the cards are being changed, and you can see they were, with a cut, the cheat keeps them back in order. On this one, the cheat lets the cards in his left hand fall faster than the cards in the right hand, holding back just one, and then letting that one card fall on top. Then, in a manner to make it look like the cheat is cutting the deck, in reality, the cheat just removes the one card that he added and puts it back on top. Now let's see how all of that looks under normal speed. Here the cheat keeps the 4 aces on top. Here he adds one card, and now he does the slip cut, keeping the 4 aces on top. The last shuffle that we went over was the in the hands riffle shuffle. That shuffle, just like the overhand shuffle, is a move primarily used in amateur games. The next shuffle that we're going to go into is the on the table riffle shuffle. This shuffle can be found in more professional games and in major casinos. Along with the on the table riffle shuffle, we're going to go into other moves such as boxing the deck and stripping the deck, and how they can also be falsified. For example, this is what a false on the table shuffle looks like. And you can see that one of those shuffles was real. The first move, the cheat, just like in the hands riffle shuffle, just lets the group of cards fall last. To create a better illusion, sometimes the cheat will cut them to the right and then sometimes to the left, giving the appearance that the top card is always being mixed. But in reality, he's keeping control of the top stock. Just as in the hands riffle shuffle, groups of cards can also be controlled on the bottom. How is that done? Same thing. They're left to fall first. You can see the aces are on the bottom, and all the cheat is doing is letting the aces fall first, and then as he riffles. Remember the slip cut where in the hands the cheat just pulled away one card? Well, that same move is applicable to the on the table riffle shuffle. And it will look just like this. On that shuffle, and I'll leave the top card face up, the cheat let one card fall on top of the deck, did another shuffle letting them fall last, and then in the act of cutting the cards, all the cheat does is pick up the top half and with his left index finger pull away one card, and it appears as though he cut the deck. Now let's see how that looks again fast, and we'll leave the top card face down. Lets him fall last, adds one card, lets him fall last, strip cuts, and there they go. Some casinos have a procedure known as boxing the deck. And what a boxing of the deck is taking 1/3 of the cards off the bottom and putting them on top after each riffle shuffle. So in a legitimate shuffle, it would look like this. Why is that procedure incorporated? And that's because sometimes the dealers will leave the top cards on top accidentally. Or sometimes they'll leave the bottom cards on the bottom accidentally. And the sharp player will take advantage of that information. So to ensure that this doesn't happen, after each riffle shuffle, the casinos put in a procedure for the dealer to cut a small packet from the bottom and put it on top, making sure the top and bottom cards are changing each time. So it'll look just like that. Can that be falsified? It sure can. Again, we're going to use the 4 aces to represent a small group of cards that the cheat is going to maintain on top of the deck. After each shuffle, he'll box, shuffle, box, and shuffle. That was done by the use of a break. After the first shuffle, the cards are left on top, and then when a cheat goes to cut the deck, he'll take 1/3 or a small group from the bottom, and when he puts them on top, you can't see it from the front, but from the rear, he's keeping a break above the cards he wants to control. Then for the next riffle shuffle, he just breaks right back at the break and shuffles, letting these cards fall last. Now let's see how that looks done face up. Now watch us add the slip cut that we learned in the previous section. Lets him fall last, boxes, adds one card, boxes, riffles, and pulls away one card, and not one of those cards changed. The cheat can use that same technique to keep the cards on the bottom of the deck. He will let them fall first. When he cuts, he gets a break below his slug. A slug is the group of cards that the cheat is controlling. Cuts them back and lets them fall first. So let's see how this looks again on the normal speed. Another procedure that the casinos incorporated was the use of a strip. And stripping the deck means taking small groups of cards from the top, continuously dropping them to the table. This breaks up sequential information and gives the deck a better mix. Can this be falsified using a strip? Absolutely. Let's see how the cheat would accomplish this. Again, we'll put the 4 aces on top, and let's see how a strip would be done with all the procedures. Riffle, box, riffle, box, and then strip. And then riffle. Again, nothing changed. The cheat accomplished this through his old friend, the break. First riffle, lets him fall last. Then when the cheat breaks or boxes, he holds a break above his group. And on the next move, which is the strip, the cheat strips small groups of cards from the top until he gets to his break. And then he lets them all fall on top. Now I'm going to leave that card face up. And let's see how this looks under normal speed. Here we go. And again, he kept control of his slug. Another way the strip can be falsified is by using another technique called a bridge. And this is what the move looks like up close. Now we'll combine everything together. This was accomplished by a bridge. When the cheat has his slug of cards on top, he'll keep them on top, box, hold his break, then keep them on top. Notice I didn't push him in yet, because as I push him in, I'm going to conceal the whole deck with my fingers, but in reality, what's happening, I'm actually bridging the deck. I'm putting a bend in the top half of the deck, just like that. But you can't see it. Then I'm going to strip for real on top of that bend. From the front, you can't see it, but from the rear, you can see there's a small gap right here where the bridge is. The cheat would just cut to that gap, bringing his slug right back to the top. Now, one more time, we'll see how this looks on the normal speed. The bridge. Well, now you've seen how the table riffle shuffle can be used to control the cards on top. Now let's see how they can also be used to control the cards on the bottom. Later on in this program, you're going to see why cards on the bottom are important, such as bottom dealing and location play. So let's see how it looks to control a group of cards on the bottom. The slug of cards that we're going to control on the bottom will be represented by the 4 aces. This is how it looks at normal speed. To show how this is accomplished, the cheat has the cards on the bottom of the deck. On the first riffle shuffle, they fall first. On the next shuffle is a box. So the cheat holds a break below the cards he wants to control. Now for the strip, the cheat picks up the whole deck, takes away the top half, putting the aces back on the bottom, and then strips for real. So let's see how that looks again at normal speed. Box, strip. Controlled on the bottom. Another way the strip can be falsified to control the cards on top will look like this. To accomplish this, we go back to our old friend, the in-jog. The cards are shuffled legitimately. The cards to be controlled are left on top to fall last. Now when the cheat goes to strip, he does a legitimate strip for the first part. On the next part, he leaves side jogged the next strip and then strips for real. So you can see below, this card is the stock of cards that we're looking to control. On the square up, the cheat pushes in on that corner and the card comes out the back right here. Now the cheat picks up at that in-jog for the final riffle and he lets his cards fall back on top. Now let's see how that looks again on the normal speed, face down. Now we'll do everything that we've just learned. You're going to see me cutting the cards to the right and then the left. We'll leave the top card faced up for the expose. Right, left, box, riffle, strip, riffle. As you can see, nothing changes. The next fall shuffle you're going to see also retains a small section of cards on top. And we're going to stay in line with proper casino procedures using a shuffle, shuffle, strip, shuffle, clean cut. Let's see how that looks. The cards again to be controlled will be the four aces. Casino procedures is shuffle, shuffle, strip, and then one more shuffle, followed by a clean cut. And you can see nothing changed. That was also accomplished by a break. We'll leave the top card face up so you could follow this. Shuffle, shuffle. When I strip, I side jog just like we did before. For real. I push in. Now you'll see where things are going to change. The card comes out the back just like it did before, right here. The cheat gets a break, as you can see, right above his slug. And then he cuts half of the top packet. So right here, he's still holding his break. The cheat drops the whole break and shuffles over the break. Keep that whole stock in order. When he pushes in at an angle. Again, right here marks the spot where the cheat must cut. Square up, clean cut. And you can see the whole top stock never changes. All the shuffles you see me previously perform keep a small group of cards in order. Very rarely does the cheat want to attempt to keep the whole deck in order, but is it possible? Absolutely. Let me show you how a cheat will take a deck of cards, shuffle them up, and retain the entire deck in order. Here's a new deck of cards in sequence. Nothing changed. Let's see how that was accomplished. This move was accomplished by the use of the push-through shuffle. I'll leave the top card face up. The cheater shuffles the cards legitimately, pushes them in, and at the last second, readjusts his ring fingers to the outside corners, and as he pushes them in, you can see the cards actually going through each other. Then when the cheater squares them up, you can see the cards went through each other. Then for the final cut, the cheat pulls out the original top half and slaps it on top, retaining the entire deck in order. Some of the false cuts that were just used was the gambler's cut and the up the ladder. The gambler's cut is just a series of 3 boxes of the deck. 1, 2, 3. Nothing changes. And that was accomplished by our old friend, the break. When the cheater boxes the deck, he holds a break. On the next cut, he still retains the break and only cuts half of the bottom off and slaps them on top, still holding the break. And then for the last cut, he cuts to the break and slaps it back on top where nothing happens. Now let's see how that looks at normal speed. The second cut was a cut called up the ladder. At normal speed, it will look just like this. Nothing happens. To accomplish this, the cheat holds a break, just like he did before the box, cuts, offsets them, pulls out half of the bottom, realigns it with the original bottom, cuts that back on top, realigns it, and back on top, and nothing will change. I'll leave the top card face up so you can see this. Now, let's see how the up the ladder looks when used in conjunction with the push-through shuffle. Then the gambler's cut, and nothing changes. Another type of false shuffle that keeps the whole deck in order was invented by a magician named Herb Zarrow, and this is what it looks like. And all that's happening on this is the cheater does a slip cut, pulls out one card, and holds a break. Does a riffle, leaves one card on top, and as he squares the deck up, he pushes over the top card. That hides the fact that the 2 packets actually disengage from each other. He picks up the original bottom half as he pushes them in like this. Now let's see how that looks on the normal speed. Nothing changes. There are a couple of ways to shade that move. One of them will look just like this, where the cheat would cover both hands over the deck where you could push them in and nothing is happening. Is it possible to control the whole deck with the overhand shuffle? Nothing changed. That was also accomplished through a series of in jogs and out jogs. When the cheater does the first shuffle, it's a complete fake and he takes nothing. But then there's a chop style, adds them to the bottom, fake, and then throws them back to the bottom. Picks up the bottom half, in jogs a group of cards, and out jogs the bottom half. Gets a series of breaks and cuts them back to the top, where the whole deck will retain its order. Another procedure that some casinos incorporate is washing the cards. This happens before the shuffle commences, and I'll show you how that can be falsified. Looks like this. How that was accomplished is the cheat has his slug on top, and when he goes for the wash, he kicks them over, keeping his slug right here, kicks out the center, and pushes them back into the left hand, while both hands come out and square their cards. And then from here, any one of the false shuffles previously mentioned can be employed. Let's see how that looks face down at normal speed. Four aces. Another way the wash can be falsified just to control one card, such as the ace of spades, will look like this. And here goes the ace of spades. That was accomplished by a top palm. The cheater has his card on top, and right before he gets ready to wash, he'll kick that card into his hand, just like this. Now when he goes for the wash, here's how he's holding the card. Notice when the cheat palms the cards, he's not holding it like this, because later on, that card might leave a distinct warp. So the cheater's holding it nice and flat as he's washing the cards. For the last part of the wash, it's still in the hand, the cheat kicks it over, and as he squares the cards up, he just places the ace, or the card he wants, right back on top. Now let's see how that looks again at normal speed. The ace. If the cheat wanted to keep the entire deck in order during the washing process, he could do it like this. Here's the new deck in order. And nothing changes. How that was accomplished, the cards are kept overlapping with each other and broken into a V. When the cheat pushes these together, the cards will automatically just fall right back in their original positions and can't get intermixed. And then the cheat turns them, covers them up, and then from here he can go into any one of his false cuts, false strips that he wants to use. And notice the whole deck will stay in order. The wash can also be used to cull cards. For example, here's a mixed deck. We don't know the order of any cards. If the house lets the dealer turn the cards as he squares them up into himself where he could see the cards, the cheater could actually look at the cards and sort them out. And all that's happening is during the wash, the cheater picks the cards up. He's looking right at the faces. He sees an ace right here. As he squares them up, he just brings it right to the top. If he sees the second one, he brings that to the top. And now he's ready to go with two aces on top. With the wash also, if cards were thrown into the muck, this is the person's last hand and they're thrown in. If the cheater wants to control these, and later on you'll see in the signaling how he would do it or why he would do it, watching the cheater would just pick them up and throw them right in. And from here, go into the wash that we talked about before. Any one of the false shuffles, and here go your aces. When the cards were thrown into the muck, we'll do it face up. The cheater lifts up a chunk to throw them in as procedure would dictate. Just pick them up and throw them in. To falsify the move, the cheat picks up the muck. When the cheater goes to throw them in, the last second he drops the muck and they go back on top. Now watch how it looks face down at normal speed. Face up at normal speed. And now we'll do it face down into the muck with the wash. Well, we learned how cheaters false shuffle the cards, and why would they false shuffle the cards? Well, the main reason is the cheater stacks the deck, and what is stacking the deck? That's how he actually sets up the cards that he's going to get or give to his partner during the shuffle or on the pickup. For example, four of us in a game. It might look like this. The cheater has stacked himself four aces. Let's see how this is accomplished. With the overhand style shuffle, the cheater usually gets the cards that he or she wants on the bottom of the deck. We're going to leave them face up. Depending upon the number of players in this game, let's suppose there was 6. When the cheater goes for the shuffle, he'll pull the top and bottom card together 2, and then run them off the top singly till he gets 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In jog the next card and then shuffle off normally. On the next shuffle, he pushes up on the in jog, and then when he shuffles for real until he gets to that break. And now every 6 card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be an ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's called the Haymouth Shuffle or the Milk Build. And we'll do it again this time in the Hold'em game, just with 2 aces, the 2 black aces. We'll put them on top, run them to the bottom, in their hands riffle, still keeping them on the bottom. And let's suppose there was 4 players. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A more sophisticated style, or a harder style, to use the overhand shuffle is something called formula stacking. Formula stacking is using a mathematical formula as he shuffles to stack the cards he wants. For example, here's 3 aces. We'll do it face up. On the first ace, he runs to the bottom. So the shuffle starts with 2 cards on top and 1 on the bottom. Let's suppose there was 5 players in the game. When the cheater shuffles, he takes the bottom half, in jogs the top card, and now, why is it called a mathematical formula? He's going to run 2 less than twice the number of players. So there's 5 people, 5 double is 10, minus 2 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out jog, and then shuffle off until the last card goes to the top. On the next shuffle, he'll get a break between the 2 in jog and out jog cards, run 1 less than the number of players. 5 minus 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw to the break, and then run the number of players, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In jog, and then shuffle. And now he just stacked every 5th card for an ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how that looks face down at normal speed. Again, we'll use 5 players in this game. Done. Cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next way a cheat can stack the deck is actually in the process of picking up the cards. For example, if you notice right here in a 6-handed game, the cheat sees 1 king and his partner has a king in his hand. If this person folds or this person folds, this person folds, when his partner folds, or if his partner's on first base, let's say for example, when his partner folds, the cheat does the muck that we've seen before. Showdown. The dealer awards the pot to the winner, and then when the dealer picks up the cards, he just picked them up in order, so his partner right now will get a pair of kings in the first position. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's your kings. Let's see how that was done. His partner knows there's a king here and a king here. So when he folds, the dealer puts him on top. There's 6 people in the game, so the cheater must put 5 cards in between the pair of kings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's your other king. So no matter who else folds, the dealer will throw them in the middle of the muck, award the pot. When the flop is picked up, the dealer flips them on top, throws the rest of the cards in. Now we have a king, followed by 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another king. Then from here, the dealer will do a false shuffle that you've seen in the first section. And when he deals them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, his partner must get the pair of kings. What you've just seen was the pickup stack. The big tell on this is the dealer picking up the cards in a specific order and then dealing his partner the cards that were picked up. What you're going to see right now, if you look down, the partner right here has a king in his hand. When he folds, the cheater will put his card on the bottom. If anyone else folds, those cards go into the middle of the muck. Now, being there's one card on the bottom, that's 1. After the pots are watered, the dealer will pick up these cards and put them on the bottom. So now the stack is on the bottom. We have a king followed by 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another king. The dealer will do any one of the false shuffles that keeps the bottom cards intact. So the stock is still on the bottom. Now the dealer deals out another round. Burn, here's your flop. If this person folds and this person folds and this person folds, burn, flop, he might fold, burn, flop. Now, some of the procedures dictate the dealer must count the stub. So when the dealer's counting the cards, in reality, he's actually reversing the sequence of cards he put on the bottom. Well, here, these cards go in. A couple of lopsided riffles. A phony strip. When he deals them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Partner gets a pair of kings. The delayed pickup stack. The cheater could have kept them on the bottom for several shuffles before delivering them to his agent. So you want to be careful when the dealer picks up the cards if he picks them up in any certain sequence. The pickup stack and the delayed pickup stack. The next stack you're going to see requires a lot more skill than the previous ones. On this one, we're going to use a table riffle, 5-handed game, and the cheater wants to stack himself a pair of aces. This is what it would look like. So the cheater gets his pair of aces on top of the deck. As he shuffles them, it's in a 5-handed game, he'll give them to himself. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. Now watch the same riffle stack done, but with a couple of cuts added also. Now when the dealer deals them out, he'll get the aces. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. Let's see how that was accomplished. This shuffle is all done by feel. The cheater gets the cards he wants on top of the deck, and in the riffle shuffling procedure, he's going to take one less than the number of players. So for argument's sake, there's 5 people in this game. As he riffles, he's going to let the right hand fall a little faster. And then when the left hand has 4 cards left in his hand, he's going to hold them back. So you see there's 4 cards left right here. The dealer lets all the cards fall in his right hand except one and places the 4 cards in between the ace. Squares them up. On the next shuffle, he just puts 4 cards on top of the aces. That puts an ace in every fifth position. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. Let's leave them face up and we'll do it again a little quicker. One, two, three, four, ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. The big tip off on this is a slight hesitation. Notice on a normal riffle shuffle, the cards fall evenly. But when the cheater does this kind of move, there's a slight hesitation at the end. Another approach to this is in a full-handed hold'em game. No hesitation. We'll put the aces on top just to show you how this would look. And that's it. The riffle stack. This move can also be accomplished with the in the hands riffle that we talked about. We'll do the aces face up, same 5 players. When the cheater shuffles, he's actually putting the 4 cards in between, and now he'll put the 4 cards on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. Watch how that looks face down at normal speed. And that's it. Every 5th card will now be an ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, ace. The next move really isn't stacking the deck, but you're going to see how the dealer deals the cards and knows everyone's hole card. This is called dealing known hole cards. This is the end of the round right now in the hold'em game. The dealer just picks up the loser, awards the pot to the winner. Now as he shuffles the cards, he's going to know what everyone's going to receive in the hole. Here's a 6, 9, 3, a 7, 2. Here's your queen 6, and the last 2 cards is a 2, 8. If you remember, this is the way it was laid out before. When the dealer picks up the losing hand, he remembers 2, 8. Here's your queen 6, and then here he just memorizes these 693, 72. 693, 72. Then you had the queen 6 and the 2, 8. Now the dealer does any one of the false shuffles. And when he deals them out, here's your pair of 6s. Here's your 9, 3, 7, 2. 9, 3, 7, 2. This gentleman has a queen in the hole. And the other 2 cards out would be a 2 and an 8. Here's your 8. That's dealing known hole cards. Well, you've just seen the method the cheat can use to deal known hole cards. Now you're going to see another method the cheat can use to also deal known hole cards. And that's going to take place during the shuffle. Watch. Let's watch the cards legitimately so we don't know which one is where. Now in the course of a couple of riffle shuffles, watch what can happen. Here's your 6, 2, 8, 10. Here's an 8 and an ace. That was accomplished by peeking at the cards as they're being shuffled. For example, when a dealer cuts the cards for the riffle, he riffle shuffles normally, and then he lets these cards fall last. And right here, he can see 10, Jack, 9. The next one, Queen 5. Then he can do any one of the false shuffles mentioned. And you notice here's your Queen 5, 10, Jack 9. Well, we talked about how dealers could false shuffle the cards and then set them up or stack the deck. Then he does the false shuffle, but the cards must be cut. So now we're going to show you different ways that cheats can use to beat the cut. For instance, so let's suppose a dealer already stacked the cards and now it's time for the cut. That was accomplished by the use of an in-jog and a confederate or a partner. The cheater has the aces or his slug on top. As he shuffles, he does an in-jog right here, pulling back one card, and that tells his partner where to cut. When he puts the deck down, his partner is going to cut to this in-jog. Cheater picks it up, and that retains the top stock. With the use of the in-jog, the cheater can also put a crimp into a card. It will look just like this. Four aces. And that was accomplished by the cheater pulling back one card, and as he squares the deck up, he actually pushes down on that card, forming a bridge or a break right into the middle of the deck, or a crimp. When he gives it to his partner to cut, his partner is going to cut, burn, another way the cheat can use to beat the cut without an accomplice is by just seeing where a person cuts. Charlie, just cut the cards right near the middle. Just cut the cards right near the middle. One more time, right near the middle. So after through the course of the game, I always notice where he cuts. So later on during the game, I get my cards stacked on top. Square, give him a cut. Chances are good he's going to cut right to the bridge. Another method of hopping the deck or doing a shift is with the table pass. Person cuts, I make a bet, and then when I get ready to deal, that was accomplished when the person cuts the deck. The cheater grabs the bottom half into the crotch of his hand, and as he comes on top, He's sliding the original top half back on top as he gets ready to deal. Now watch that again at normal speed. Another method is the elevator pass. Then when he gets ready to deal, that method of beating the cut, the cheater replaces the cards to be cut. He grabs the bottom half over the original top half, and when he goes to replace the cut, he shifts them in one hand like that as they go on top. Now watch this again at normal speed. One of the fastest moves that can be done with a deck of cards is called a classic pass or a shift. The cheater passes the cards to be cut, replaces the cut, and as he gets ready to deal, he shifts the aces or his slug back to the top. He could mask that motion so the cheater will do any one of the false shuffles, keeping the slugs on top, pass the cards to be cut. As he replaces the cut and then gets ready to deal, he switches them. That's accomplished by using a pinky break. When the cheater replaces the two halves and picks them up, he actually gets a break between the original top and the bottom half. And then when he goes to deal, he actually switches just like that. I'll see if I can do it again at normal speed at this angle. Now watch it on the table at normal speed. The cheater can also make the move as a distraction as when people are looking at their hands. For example, here's my ace of hearts. He cuts. The dealer would deal the cards. As everyone's looking at their hand, he would make the move. That's the pass. Another method of beating a cut is by accidentally leaving some on the table. For example, here's my top stock. Now when I get ready to deal, whoops. And what the cheater did, he actually grabs some of the bottom, puts them on the top, and as he gets ready to deal, right here, he comes back to grab those, puts them on top, and that replaces the original stock back on top. Now watch this again at normal speed. We'll add some shuffles and a cut in there. Okay, let's go. Ready? Whoops. Another method of beating the cut is by use of the stall. Okay, everybody's in. On this, all the cheater did was took the original bottom half and instead of placing them on top, puts them in his hand, puts up his ante, then puts the original top back on the top. Should he be called on that, it looks like an honest mistake. Those are just some of the ways the cheat can use to beat the cut. Well, now you've seen how to beat the cut. Now we're going to show you what can happen and how the dealer can actually peek the cards to know what's coming out, what's on top, and what's on the bottom. For example, the cards are shuffled and then cut. The cheater wants to know what's on the bottom. He knows right now by squaring them up, it's the Ace of Hearts. How does he know that? In the act of squaring them up, he actually bridges. And you can see the card right in the back, as so. So watch that again at normal speed. Jack of clubs. If he wants to know what the top card is, there's two ways of doing that, the bubble peek and the heel peek. The bubble peek is, we're in the Hold'em game. I want to look at my cards. And as I'm looking at my cards, I'm actually looking at the top card too. I know it's a Six of Hearts. I'll do it again at normal speed. King. I know there's a 10 on top. All that's happening is the thumb pushes against the top card and it buckles. So when the deck is turned over, the cheater can look right into that bubble and see that 3 of spades. This has been exaggerated for the camera. In a real scenario, he would only have to buckle it that much. And you can see it's a 10 of clubs. In a lot of games, they won't allow that kind of management of flopping the deck. The deck must stay level. So here's how the cheater can gain information. When the cheater's going around to see who's in and who's not, or calling the action, as he reaches over, he knows the top card's an ace. This is called a heel peek. As he's bending over, he's pulling back the top card, and he's looking right at the ace. So let's deal some down, and now we'll pick the top card. You can see it's a 2 with an 8 underneath it. A 2 with an 8 underneath it. If the cheater exerts a lot of pressure, he could pull up and actually look down into the deck. So I know the fourth card right now is a 2. 1, 2, 3. This has to be a red 2. Now watch this from the front. It's a queen. As he's coming, 5 to you. You're in. You're in. Now I know the top card's a jack. Red. So now you saw how a cheater could peek the top and bottom cards, and now I'll show you how we can utilize that information and actually deal the cards to whoever he or she wants to. For example, let's say this is a Hold'em game. I have a 5-4 in the hole. This is your flop. And there's 3 people in the game. Action to you. You're in. Everyone's there. I know the top card's a 5. Well, this card has to get burned. So what is the cheater going to do? He's going to deal a second card and give the 5 to himself, so he'll have 3 of a kind. Or better yet, he's going into a full house. Watch. Okay, pot's right. Everyone's in. Burned. Here's your 5. I'll do that face up so you can see it. But face down. And what the cheater is doing, the cheater is pushing off 2 cards, and as he snaps it to the table, he's pulling back the top card. I'll do it close up at normal speed. That's it. Now watch it face down at normal speed. Wrap, burn, 5. If it's pitch and he wants to keep the top card to himself, let's get an ace up. So now he knows an ace on top. Okay? When he deals that ace, he'll keep it for himself. Watch it face up. Face down. A big tell on the second deal is a dead thumb. When a person deals normally, you'll see a thumb pick up. But when they start dealing seconds, the thumb goes dead. A professional cheater who put many hours into his craft will practice picking up the thumb after the second deal. Here's your king of spades. Watch when I deal. You can see how the thumb picks up. Or on a pitch style, you can see the thumb pick up. Another telltale sign of a second deal is called a necktie, because they want to hide the motion by bringing their hands up like this. So here's your queen of spades. You'll see the dealer deal normal, but they want to deal seconds. They bring the hand up as if they're tying their necktie. Jack of diamonds. When they deal, you want to see them just come right from the top. Face up and face down. In some home style games, I've actually seen them buckle the cards when they deal them, or snap them like this, as they call the action. Jack, 9, 4 to the 9, Jack. So now, as the cheater goes like that, he sees a 4 of hearts on top. If he doesn't want to give the 4, 5, 4. Here's your other 4. I'll do it face up so you can see what that looks like. And face down. And there's your 4. On this, the cheater's doing the same thing he did before. He's pushing off 2 cards, and as he goes to take it, his thumb pulls back the top card as he snaps out the second one. And he'll go to the table with it, just like that. Watch it face up again. The second deal. The next move we're going to cover is the bottom deal. Now I'm going to show you how cheats take the cards they want from the bottom of the deck as they deal. We showed you before how they get the cards to the bottom of the deck and how they do a false shuffle and keep them on the bottom, and then how they pass the cards to be cut, falsify the cut, and get the cards on the bottom. Now we'll go over how to give them to themselves. This is called bottom dealing. Looks like this. Cheater control, there's 2 aces on the bottom for the hold'em game. Here's how the bottom deal looks in the game. Two aces. If I did it face up, you would see when the dealer deals the cards, he actually buckles the bottom card and pushes it out. Deals, and when he takes it, he pulls the bottom card. As he's getting ready to deal this card, he's buckling the next card off. And when he wants it, he deals it to himself. The biggest tell on a bottom deal is a finger flash. When a dealer deals a bottom card, you'll always see these fingers flashing or opening up to release the bottom card. Pay attention to my fingers and you'll see when the move happens. Here's the ace of spades. And watch when I deal it off the bottom. That was it. Next one. The bottom deal.